lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! Lion brand yarn, that is, with a couple of online shopping trips that I did. Majority of this was just recently, and then a few others I bought a few months ago, and putting them all together to show you and do a little review on some, and then go over the specs, especially on the new yards. So I want to show you that. I'm pretty excited, and that way I'll give you some info if you haven't already seen it and just want an objective, unbiased, I'm not affiliated kind of thing, opinion on it. So anyway, welcome everyone who's been here before, returning, and those of you who are new. I'm so happy to see you here. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. My name's Helene. I'm here in northeastern Washington State, sitting outside, as you can see, and enjoying an absolutely beautiful afternoon. Might get a gust now and then, and the air is still chilly, but as long as I'm here in the warmth of the sun, I will be okay. The things that I do just for you. Yeah, okay, well, I'm going to get into the crochet life stuff first, and then we'll dive into that yarn box together. And I do have some ideas and projects and things for it too. And as some of you have noticed, you hadn't seen me in a little while, there's kind of like a little bit of a few-week pause in between my last tutorial and then the one before that, and I've just been so busy, and I am anyway usually, and even outside of my crochet life I have other obligations, responsibilities, and things that I do, and I enjoy doing a variety of things, and I have a lot of interests, and sometimes I think I just spread myself a little too much and try to cram everything I can into every hour of waking hours, and then beyond that, even then some. You know how that is. You go lay down to sleep, and the wheels and gears are still turning and thinking about crochet and yarn and your next project, or trying to figure out what you are currently doing. And then also, really what I've decided to go ahead and do the farmers and art market this year. I think that's going to be doable. It'll work. I hope so. I want to give it a try. I really missed not doing it last year. I'm excited. I will be taking you there sometimes with me, show you the new vendors and the returning vendors and the setting. It's just so beautiful at the park right along a creek. So it's really nice atmosphere and a wonderful group of people, both vendors and customers. We get some regulars and people traveling. So that begins, the first day is Friday, May 14th. And I make jewelry also, and so I have ideas, new ideas for that as well, bringing out some fresh things. Yet another aspect of this is that with my time, I've really had to take a step back. I need a little break and kind of reevaluate my time sharing, and to pace myself so that I don't get burnt out, and that I can attend to the other things that I have going on without sacrificing quality and content that I present here or in the items that I sell and take to the market, and the attention that's needed to the other areas in my life. So it's a lot of juggling going on. As much as I'd love to be doing this 24/7, that's just not the reality of my life anyway. Oh yes, and then I really wanted to make a couple of projects that required bulkier yarn and doing a real tight stitch. And I tried it a while back, and I was realizing at this stage in my life and all the years of using my hands, it was way too hard on my hands, and they cramp and they ache and feel very inflamed afterwards, and I do have some arthritis. So being careful, and again back to pacing myself and taking breaks and doing all the necessary stretches from the neck down. Lower back so important to keep with my hand health and the longevity of that, because I plan to crochet all my born days. Once I started working on that, and it didn't take much, I realized very quickly, oh no, that is not going to work for me at all. I had so much pain in my hands, and I've hardly crocheted in the last 3 weeks because of that. And then all the fine detail work of the jewelry and using the tools and the squeezing and the twisting of the wire. So I'm needed to reevaluate everything, and whoo, here comes that wind. Can you feel it? I'm feeling it enough for all of us right now. Okay, well, let me go through this yarn while I still have some sun on my back. All right, well, first up, I'm going to grab that right here. I've already used part of it. The Lion Brand 24/7 cotton. It's a light number 4. It's a 100% mercerized cotton. It's densely spun. It's a chain net or I-cord type of construction. It's a little harder for me to tell, but it's very smooth. And the mercerization goes through a process where it adds strength and resiliency. And I love this yarn for certain projects. It does have a string-like effect, but it is great for bags, totes, market type bags, and also my little baseball cap hats and my cup cozy coaster cover thingies. And I've been working on these too, and I'm making taller ones as I showed last year, and putting a little cinch ties so those can be more versatile for different size water bottles and taller cans, like the iced tea cans, or even beer bottles too, if you partake in that. And it's nice with the cotton because it is a little more of a porous material, even with the mercerization process, so it absorbs the moisture when the bottles start sweating, if it's hot, and then you get all that wetness on your hand. If you don't mind, sometimes you can use that just to cool yourself off. But anyway, so I've been working on those, and I've been working on my baseball cap hats, and I'm almost finished with the written pattern for that. All right, so this is a new color. Did I say terracotta? That's actually why I brought that out. And to tell you that if you do like this yarn also, they have several new colors, I think about a half a dozen, and I also saw them on the Hirschner's website, and they have all of them too. They have one called Creamsicle, which I love because I do like the peachy coral colors, and they have a couple of neutrals and brighter tones, a little bit in between. And terracotta apparently is the new Pantone color for this year, and I just happen to really like it anyway. Okay, so next up I have the Sunset Nights yarn. It is a number 4 weight, but at the yardage, 273 yards. And how light this is in comparison to a standard number 4. To me, it's more along the lines of a light number 3 from the first feel, actually, but then it does, when working it up, it lofts up a little bit thicker, but it is super lightweight. Even this is lightweight to me compared to other denser yarns with the same amount of yardage. 90% acrylic, 10 poly, which I believe are the sequins. And this is a gradient yarn. This one is called Martha's Vineyard, and on the website it looked more blue, that the blue had more depth. And the colors I noticed on their website oftentimes are really not true. So you have to take that into consideration when ordering, that what you see may be different than what you actually get. Although the terracotta was pretty true to color. Some tones are very difficult to capture on camera and then translate, and then from website, and then to each individual screen. It just varies so much. And the solid colors on the ends, like from the center pull and the outside, do not have the sequins. But as you get the gradient colors, they have these really small paillettes or sequins, and they are not scratchy at all. Now this little sample I did does not have the sequins in it, but I did pull a section where it did, and I didn't want to fiddle with that too much more. So I just worked up a small sample for you, just so you can see some of the stitch definition. All the rows except for last, I used an I, a US 9, and 5.5 millimeter, which is what the yarn calls for. And because these are individual strands they're 3 and they are very loosely wound, so they're more separate than they are wound. With the eye hook, for me and my tension, which I think is pretty middle of the road, it was easy to split them and get hung up. So then I switched to an H hook, US 8, 5.0 millimeter, and that just flowed so much easier. I think that is the size that I would go with, and probably depends on the stitch too, how open and lacy or closer that I want that, the work that I'm doing. But this is so soft, so buttery soft. I really like it. I'm gonna have fun, enjoy using that, and I hope that's something in my plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes I have to make those adjustments along with life as it happens, but I do have a project in mind for that, and I got this in 2 other colors, and that was with my most recent order, which I believe I also got from Lion Brand, either that or Joanne, and Joanne is now carrying that also. And this is in the color Atacama Desert, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Atacama. This yarn is made in PRC, People's Republic of China. Not my favorite sourcing place, but I do make an occasional exception if the yarn is really that unique or lovely or something that I absolutely need to go with something else. And as you can see on this colorway, where it's solid, and then you can see the transition more with the contrast here, and then where the sequins begin, and then they will not be on the solid at the other end, which is different. So the other color I got is Zanzibar, and I do, as I mentioned, I do like the corals, and although I'm not a big red wearer, once in a while, and this is more of a strawberry color, I thought it was just so fun and cheery. The shawl in a ball, fabulous, darling. I don't know if this is going to be a limited edition or what, but I had to try it. It looks so interesting to me. 5.3 ounces, 459 yards. Depending on the type of shawl, how open it is, you very well may be able to do one, or do one entire shawl out of one ball, or perhaps a light wrap. Not a real wide one though. I picked up 2 just in case, because I've done that so many times in the past where I don't get enough at one time and I cut myself short. So this time I did. We'll see what I do with it. This is called Old World. It has some sky blue in it, and then you've got going into the denim, and we'll see what happens when I get to the inside of it, what it looks like. And I am finding perhaps a center pull. It's a little hard to tell. I don't want to mess up this yarn, and then my hands are still bothering me with the gripping, but I'll just have to find out when I get there. I want to tell you about the yarn. It is very soft. It's 40% cotton, 30 poly, 20 acrylic, and 10 wool. I'm an interesting blend. I do not feel the bit of sparkle that is in it at all. It does have a halo, most likely from the wool. I think that will lend to some nice texture and give an interesting appearance to the yarn, and we shall see on that one. Oh, and these have a wonderful center pull, really easy to find, and the yarn is smooth. It comes out quite nicely. And then what I was really excited about just recently was when Lion Brand came out with their new Skein tones. So excited for these. I already like this yarn. I have some in the Basic Stitch Premium, and they have Basic Stitch in 4 different yarns now. 3 are their anti-pilling, and they have that new subcategory in the Skein tones. Except on Lion Brand website, they are all together in one location, and then Joanna's carrying that now, and they have the Skein tones separately, although they are sold out of quite a few of the colors. No surprise there. So I was really excited because I find it harder to find a nice range of browns and neutrals, and particularly a number of them in different shades that complement each other. And when I saw these, I knew I wanted at least almost all of them to make a gradient blanket. So I have an idea for that already. Wanted to go ahead and get that now so I can have that when I am ready to go with it. And I got 11 of the 12 colors, so I will go through those with you. With the exception, what I did not get was the ebony, because it seemed a little too much of a contrast where I wanted it to go. And then instead of getting the ivory, which again on the other end of the spectrum, the same thing, to me it was a little bit too stark of a contrast for my project. So I got the Ecru, E-C-R-U color instead for that. First of all, the anti-pilling, it is so soft and so squishy, has a wonderful, wonderful smooth hand. It is similar to the Premier anti-pilling Everyday Worsted, in case you had wondered about that. They are wound about the same. This is a little bit lighter, just slightly. You get 5 more yards per 100 gram ball, 3.5 ounces. So you get 185 versus 180 yards. Lion Brand Basic Stitch is a little bit shinier. This is more of a satin finish. It's not a matte, so to me I would call it more of a satin, where this has definitely more of a sheen to it. And the sheen doesn't show up as much in the shade, but when I get out into the lighting, it really pops in this. And then perhaps the Premier anti-pilling is a little bit more densely spun, just a little bit, where the Lion Brand doesn't feel as tight to me. So they're so close. They're really so close in that way. And then the other Basic Stitch is their premium yarn. This is not the anti-pilling. It is still very soft. It's not quite as smooth and sleek feeling, and it does have a bit more, it has more of a halo. It is a little bit thinner, so you get 219 on this. Ooh, that was a huge cold gust that just came up. Oh, and this pole here, no, that's not leaning. The house is not that crooked, no. It's just the way that my camera is propped up. All right, so now as far as the Skein tones, I'm going to show you in the order that I am going to place them into my project in my mind as it is now. I'll see when I actually get there. And then I got enough of another color to make another vest for myself in the fall. Tuck that away. Oh, it was hard deciding though which one, because I like them all. I really do. And I think it's wonderful. It's about time that Yarn Company came out with more skin tone type of shades for a range of people. And I realized that Lion Brand or any yarn company cannot possibly come out with every shade that there is, no matter what it is, whether it's, you know, skin tone, hair color, the color of nature, trees, grass, whatever, you know, to accommodate every single color that there is in the entire world. I would have liked to have seen, though, a few more colors in the lighter end of the spectrum, or even one, like say a medium kind of a beige, somewhere in between a peach and this hazelnut, because there's not a one in here that comes even close to my skin tone. But it's kind of that way with foundations for me. I usually have to mix colors anyway, and I don't do amigurumi, and that's fine. That's not a big deal. Oh yeah, there is this one. That's the almond color, but still, you know, no, that's not me either, but that's okay. Hey, Lion Brand, next time maybe you want to come out with a medium beige olive skin with a pasty undertone in the winter, who tans in summer. That would work, which is usually why I have to mix my foundations. But anyway, I'm thrilled. I think these are all wonderful. But anyway, you saw the ecru, and the actual one in the Skein tone is that ivory color. This is peach or peachy. It's just peachy. And again, I love that color. I would definitely use this for other things too. I think that's real pretty. And I'm undecided if I'm actually going to put it in this project and just go with this color family. I will have to see how that works in. I went ahead and got it anyway because there is a color in here called Adobe, and that has more of the orange red base. So if I mix in that one, then I think this lighter peach at the other end of the project, they're going to pull from each other and kind of bring it all together. So that's my plan for that. And then here is almond, okay? And this is hazelnut. Tell me, which ones are you liking so far? Have you picked up this yarn? Are you in the process of making something? Do you have future plans? And which is your favorite or favorite colors overall? And this is cedar wood, which I really like a lot. And I had 3 narrowed down for the vest that I'm going to make. And I'm glad I went with the one that I did, which I'll show you as I get to it, because that most complements my skin. Not as far as looking like my skin tone, but is a good color for me to wear against my skin tone. And this one's so pretty too. This one's called Honey. So you can see how this so far, you know, it's just going to make a wonderfully, here we go, gradient. Boop, boop, boop. I'm not done yet though. See? Oh, it's my baby. Okay. And this one is truffle. Here's the one that I got. Show you in the light. Oh, there we go. Almost had it there. Ooh, pretty. To me, it's a cross between a warm and a cool. Has this rich, little bit of a coppery, to me, an undertone. So I think that'll make a nice, kind of a neutralish vest where I have enough solid colors. Oh, teal would be really pretty underneath this or worn with it. I can see purple, which I don't wear too much purple, but even a deep lavender would go with that. Yeah, so I have enough in my vast t-shirt wardrobe. And Adobe, there's that reddish. So you see what I mean? If I do the peach and then bring that in, I think that'll kind of work. Because I wanted more than 2 in the lighter tone. 3 gives a nice balance. And this is Nutmeg. This was another one that I really liked. I had kind of narrowed it down. I mean, I like the honey, but I know that's going to make me look very sallow against my skin. And that does not have enough depth of color for me against my skin. And I really like the nutmeg as well. And I think I picked it. What do you think? Did I do good with my color choices? They're similar, you know, but you can see next to each other coppery tones. Okay, so that's nutmeg. 2 more. Ooh, mahogany. Yeah, it's another good one, huh? Oh, see what I mean? They're just they're all beautiful. All beautiful. Skein tones, skin tones, nature tones. Love it. Love the mahogany. Gorgeous. That little bit of red. I just think they're all so beautiful. And this one is called Cocoa. Oh, and I think truffle. One of them on the Joanne website is named chocolate or hot chocolate or something in the chocolate family, and that is incorrect. I believe that one is truffle, and then here is cocoa. And again, another good one. Really like them all. They're just so saturated in color. Yeah, so almost had it. I don't have a large table or anything out here. So that is it. I know this is a longer one than usual. I appreciate you hanging in for the long haul with me. And I hope you enjoyed this video too. So please, if you did, give me a thumbs up, comment, like, subscribe, and share. All right. Well, take care, everyone, and I will see you soon.